James, you there? You there, bud?
Can you hear me all right?
Yeah, I can hear you. Not the one I sent you. Try the one that's in the Facebook group. I want to make sure it's working.
Yeah, so that's the one you sent into our.
No, so go right in Salon Owner Mastermind, the main group.
Okay.
And I posted just now. It says tonight's class will start in an hour.
All right, hold on. I'll be right. I'm gonna leave this one. I'll go back and hang on.
Okay. Because somebody just messaged me and said they were trying to do a Zoom today, not through mine, but through her own. And that Zoom changed where you had to actually manually type in the password. And that would be an absolute fucking clusterfuck. It's bad enough these people can't click on, go on a simple link.
Oh, I know. Hold on a second. I'm trying to find.
Hey, Cheryl, just annoy my mouth right now. This might not be good if people require. Hey, Cheryl, did you just type in the chat? Did it require you to type in a password to get in here?
Yeah, it's asking me for a password, Derek.
Are you kidding me?
Nope. I just went on the link that you just posted.
The one in the group.
The one in the group.
Well, how are other people getting in here?
And are they going through the panelist link?
Well, Cheryl's not a panelist. And somebody else is in here too.
See if, hey Cheryl, if you can, she can't hear me. I'm on the phone with you. Just see if you can ask her what link she clicked on.
Hey, Cheryl, can you hear me?
Yes, I can.
Cheryl?
Yes?
I turned your mic on, Cheryl. You could talk if you want.
Yeah, I did.
Okay, she said, I went through the email. So the email's link is working. Why is the one not in the group working?
I don't know. You know what? When I went through the email, it opened up Zoom directly on my phone. And when I went to the Facebook group, it asked me to leave Facebook and join the Zoom group, and that's when it gave me the prompt for a password.
Try and hit BBR as the password, all capitals.
Say it again.
BBR, Beauty Business Reset, BBR, all capitals.
Let me see, hold on. Let me see. Yep, that worked.
Yeah, worked. Okay. I'm going to post the link in, I'm going to edit the post in Facebook quickly.
Yeah, because you know what it is, dude? These people are, whatever they're calling it, Zoom bombing or whatever.
Yeah, so that's why, because Zoom was getting hacked by college kids, so they now want passwords. So
yeah.
So let me put this in here quickly. Edit post. This is so stupid. This is going to make this so much harder, you know?
I know. That's all right. Monitor. I'm ready to go upstairs. I'm jumping on. I'm gonna make a copy of the link with the BBR password, and then what I'll do is in the Facebook group, just, you know, hopefully people are on early and we can keep posting like, hey, if you're on Zoom, here's the password. It's just, you know, I don't know if hopefully Beth is ready to go.
Yeah, panelists won't need it. I don't think they shouldn't.
I got in the panelist link with no password.
Yeah, it shouldn't require one.
Right,
I just typed in if prompted for password, it is BBR. Save.
Yeah. So we can post it in the live. Well,
apparently the email is working now. That's weird that it's working off the email link, yet not this. Just
Yeah, but Zoom might be sucking the password right in through the email link. It may be more of a direct link.
Yeah, it might be. I guess maybe they're blocking Facebook.
Yeah, it's probably.
Because if you ever notice on links, Facebook puts a bunch of code behind the link.
Yeah, well, and they're stupid too because people are clicking on live links and jumping right on the mic. You know what I mean? Because people that don't know how to use Zoom and book the mic. So it happened a few times with some of the school classes.
Yeah.
So that's why they're being like, because the HIPAA law or whatever, not HIPAA, but whatever the law is, they're
Yeah.
like losing their mind over
I hear
it.
you. I hear you. Let me go.
All right, cool.
All right. I'll see you in a couple minutes.
All right,
Bye.
all right, bye.
Thanks, Cheryl. I appreciate you letting us know that. Apparently, we had to go in and if you're not joining through the email, it requires a password. So we had to notify everybody. Good
Oh,
old
no
Zoom
problem.
updating their security at the last minute.
Is it okay that I'm on here now, or do you want me to go off and come back
Hanging
on?
out my t-shirt. Don't have my day drinking pajamas on though. So
All good.
Derek speaking. Can I help you? Derek speaking. Can I help you? Hello? Hello? Apparently not. Okay, glad to see all you guys in here early. Glad to see that the email link worked. Susan and Melissa, just type in the chat button. Did you get on through the email link or through the group link? The chat button's at the bottom of the screen, under the Zoom screen. Email, perfect. Okay, so I guess the email link is working fine. Apparently Zoom is blocking Facebook right now with the link, so we had to put a password in. I guess it was all the college kids hacking their professors. They had to install extra security. Tonight's going to be a great meeting. Can't wait to get Beth on tonight. Oh, thanks, Cheryl. I appreciate that. We've been working tirelessly on this, at least I have, because I am running it. James and Andrew are helping me, and they're putting in a lot of time also, but we're putting any roughly 5 hours a day just putting this together. And we're going to go for 30 days with no break. Looks like we'll have educators all the way through April, the end of April. So that's a good thing. If you haven't subscribed to our YouTube channel yet, please do so. The YouTube channel is Salon Ops, SALON-OPS, 2 words. All the video recordings will be in there if you miss any. And no, I don't own a jet. That's my fake background, just in case anybody was wondering. You like my glass of scotch on the table over there? Hey, James.
Oh, you know, that link got me right in.
The panelist link, correct?
Yep, that's the first time. Every other time I've done it, it's brought me into that weird limbo.
That's so weird. Yeah, I think Zoom has been having some technical issues, to be honest with you, because can you imagine the load they have? They're doing just about every school, all the government, everything.
You don't even know.
Crazy.
I know since that you're not as you know, day to day when you had your salon, but between ADP and the regular banking and everything, when everything went live on Friday or Thursday night, everybody shut down for maintenance. So here I'm like 2 o'clock in the morning trying to pull paperwork and stuff down.
Yeah, my bank still doesn't even have the loan up. I have Wells Fargo, and they're still not active. At least where I am, they don't have the link up. Maybe some other people are getting it through the country right now, but not me, not yet. I'm waiting.
Yeah, Chase went live, not in the morning. They went like late in the day on Friday, probably around like 3 or 4 o'clock.
I know Bank of America was the first, and Chase. I know there's some private lenders. Wells Fargo is still putzing around as usual.
Yeah.
And yeah, because I want to apply for that. And I also want to apply for that emergency loan, the 10,000 that you get. Did you see that one? Did you guys apply for that one too? The bridge loan, the emergency bridge loan?
Yeah. So I don't know who had said it, if it was Nikki or Jeff, both two huge proponents of them, had said you can apply for both. You just can't apply for both for the same reason. So you do the PPE just for payroll, and then you can do the EDIL for everything else.
The other one for long-term operating. Yeah, exactly. And so we'll see how that goes.
Yeah, we got lucky. I mean, we don't know if we got it, but we got lucky because New Jersey.
Well, hopefully the government takes care of us this time instead of taking care of the banks only. Because the banks get all this money and don't use it again, I'm going to be pretty pissed off.
I know, right? It's like something. All right, I'm in. All right, so we're not on Facebook Live yet, but I am logged.
No, I didn't fire up the live yet. I'm going to wait. I don't want to, get this all. I guess we could. I'll fire it up now. Might as well, right? Everybody can laugh at all the coaches trying to get in and messing up, especially when Beth comes up.
Yeah. Hey, Melissa, that's you should really, if you haven't watched it, go back to the group, or Derek just set up the YouTube. Nikki Lee has been at the forefront of all this crazy with the loans, but the PPE loan is forgivable as long as you use it in a certain way. So that's what they say, and I guess they should do that, right? You better hope they do.
Yeah, they're even if it wasn't, the interest rate is 0.075%, so it's less than 1%. So who cares?
Yeah.
To me, that's like free money, right? So.
Well, even the other one at 3.75, it's like.
That's still dirt low, I know, right?
I just don't know where everybody thinks. I mean, I know, if you got lucky and had a mortgage in this last reasonable market, you got a good rate, but mortgage rates used to, if you were lucky.
Yeah, but if you had a mortgage on if you had a mortgage on your business, you're probably still paying between 4% and 7%. So what you do is you take the 3.75 and pay that off with that, and you lower everything, especially since it's out over 30 years.
Yeah. Yeah. The payment on that, it's nothing.
The payroll protection loan though is only for 2 years. So that's going to be a higher payment if you take out a lot of money. Okay. Be nice. Let's see. Facebook is being nice so far. A lot of people having trouble with going Facebook Live too.
Yeah, it's
on the lower paid plans. I think they're messing with people.
They just the amount of traffic has been crazy. I'm sure for these sites,
Don't you wish you'd have bought stock in Zoom like a month or two ago?
Right. Well, you and I have always liked Zoom. Zoom was.
Yeah. No doubt. I've been on Zoom since they first came out. So.
For a while, we used to use this service called Blab. So the thing about that was anybody could join on the call, but they recorded back to a server, so you didn't need the storage. So you never know. You'd be on a call and somebody, there'd be some idiot that would jump on. But if you remember that Martin Shkreli, remember the pharmaceutical guy? I don't know if it was the EpiPen or the AIDS drug. He raised all the prices and he's in jail now.
Yeah, it was the I forget what it was.
Yeah. He used to use the service. So when he was in the height of all that stuff and he was buying like weird unreleased albums for like $1 million and he was being an idiot, people would jump on the call. It was like watching an absolute train wreck, man. It was like, you're an ass, all kinds of crazy comments, and they could just jump on right on video, and then you'd have to block them afterwards, but it was hilarious.
Yeah, that's kind of funny.
Yeah, well, you're doing like a business chat, and then it's like, surprise, and somebody comes on. It's like, yeah, all right, thanks, man.
Well, that's kind of like, I think that's why Zoom in, there was that big viral thing about the kids putting up the penis while the professor was talking. Shut down his whole lecture and they couldn't get it off. So I guess that's why Zoom had to kick in some, somebody must have published a hack somewhere on how to get into these Zoom groups.
Yeah, well, I wish they would work on updating my client data and everything. If they're so bored, I'd actually pay them to do it. If they want to jump on Zoom calls and be idiots, I'm like, I got plenty of IT work for you, man.
So Melissa, just a quick answer to your question. Yes, not all the loans are forgivable, but the PPL, I think it's called, Paycheck Protection Loan, is forgivable, provided you spend it on what they tell you can spend it on, which is like your rent, your bills, things like that, only for the business. You can also spend it on your personal pay if you are an owner. So that's what it's for, and it is forgivable. The other loans are not forgivable. They're long-term loans that you're going to pay an interest rate on.
All right, let's see this here.
So now we're on wait mode. Let's see who jumps in. Andrew was going for a walk at 7, so he should be in soon. And Beth said she was going to jump in at 10 minutes too. I told her 22, but you know Beth, so we'll see.
Oh, God. Okay, let's see.
And me too, Melissa. I'm waiting on Wells Fargo as usual. I think it might be time to switch over to Bank of America. They always seem to be the first with everything.
All right. So you got some people on. What's up, Steve? You'll catch that after. It's a little delay with Facebook, but
Get my Facebook Live up. It's, believe it or not, it's easier to do Facebook Live on my phone than my iPad, James. For some reason,
Yeah.
I can't get the chat comments on the iPad. It shows the video and it shows how many comments, but it doesn't show the live comments. So, yet on my phone, it works like rock star.
Sasha's so funny. She's in the Facebook group. She's saying, "You guys are on really early." I'm like, "Yeah, Zoom had added a password, so we were just making sure everything is up and running, so it's not a little crazy."
Dawn's on. Steve Stradlin, man, what's going on, buddy? Hey, Dawn. Sally, Celestial's on. Amanda's on. Everybody's joining on. People love Facebook Live. I didn't get to do my daily Facebook Live today, which kind of bummed me out. I was too buried. Had to get a last-minute website done for one of the clients here. So.
Steve said he's all good.
Yeah, I see him. I could probably hit Steve's house with a rock from here.
That's funny.
Well, maybe in my day, not anymore.
I know this talk is about color tonight, but Steve's been putting up he does a lot of funky colors, man. He's been putting up some really cool stuff.
Color cuts, yeah. Asbury Park's a cool place for that kind of stuff. So.
Let's see. All right, so I'm queued up. Let's see. All right, so I'm good to go, man.
All right. Now we just have to wait for our educator and Andrew and whoever else wants to join on. You know if any of the other group members are joining on tonight, James?
A lot of chatter, so I think everybody's excited to see what Beth wears tonight. So I hope you guys at home are prepared.
It's all good. We love Beth. Beth's awesome. She was talking to Andrew all frightened because they have tents up in Central Park and they're putting the refrigerated trucks out there, and I guess just preparation, but it is what it is. You can get yourself crazy with stuff.
I saw a whole video somebody posted from their apartment building on that, and it's tough.
You know who's doing that though, which I think is really cool. The ones in the park and everything. That's I forget his name. I think it's Franklin Graham, Billy Graham's kid. He runs a thing called Good Samaritan. They're doing all that for free. They're going to set up, I guess, hospital overloads if the hospitals can't handle it. So, which I think is unbelievable that they're doing that for everybody. So. We shall see. I like the suit jacket tonight, James.
It's all in Beth's honor, man. She's famous for her ice and her line, man. Iceland and the snazzy shirt. I know. I'm hoping. I don't know if they're going to come on tonight, but I'm hoping Charles Gillick, his wife Nicole, they own a salon. We saw them at Intercoiffure in October. So Charles was busting me about the silver suit because it actually is a whole suit. So I said,
Yes.
hey, I'm never going to be able to wear it again. So we're about the same size. I'm like, so you could have it after this. And walking back, we were drinking at the bar. We were having a really, really good time.
There is our girl. Hey, Beth. Let me unmute Beth, make sure she's unmuted.
Derek,
Can you hear us? There you are. Okay, we can hear you now.
how are you? Oh, let me get this ugly thing out of the way. How are you?
Beth, I hope you have a phone stand or I'm going to get drunk by the end of the night.
I don't have a phone stand, so you don't get drunk. And I promise, I'm going to stay very still.
Okay.
How are you? Stupid
We're all
question.
doing well. How about you? Yeah.
Well, I mean, I'm here, just like everybody. This is, thank goodness I don't have that virus, but everybody is kind of sad. It's a tough time.
Yeah. Pretty freaky when you see the tents in Central Park, right?
Well, they're right outside my window. And I have
Yeah,
to tell you, yeah.
Oh,
But
show off now, Beth. We know you overlook Central Park.
in about 2 more months, unless I get some money, I'll have a sign around my neck that says, "We'll highlight."
We all will, right? We all will.
No, not you, babe. Yeah, but it's going to be different. It's going to be okay, but it's going to be very different. So I'm really happy to talk to people tonight. And it's going to go far deeper than what's her level, That's not the only thing. I really want to talk about these. I have a very small group. I have 31,000 hairdressers who tune into my Instagram, but I'm told that's nothing when compared to some other people. But they're real serious hair color people, and I really care about them. And they're wondering, and there's so much on their minds, so much. So thank you for allowing me to be a part of this.
Oh, Beth, it's our pleasure. Oscar says, Beth, you look a little different than our first meeting. Gorgeous. I don't know what that means, Oscar. You're going to get slapped.
Yeah, that wasn't good. Well, darling, I only blew my hair dry part way, and I just did my retouch up here. God knows tomorrow I'll do my roots all over. But
did you do you didn't do your famous Rene Russo red?
My Rene Russo, she was one of them. And a lot of wonderful person. But I love what I do, and Oscar and I've been doing this long time. But it gets better. It gets different, but it gets better. So, where are you tonight, Derek? In Tom's River? Where are you? No.
I'm in Belmar, on the ocean in Belmar.
Beautiful. Yeah. It's pretty down
there.
there.
It's nice, except for now you're not allowed they closed all the boardwalks and everything down. So
I saw
you're
that.
not even allowed to go outside and walk. Unfortunately, some people ruined it by not social distancing. So now my wife and I, we just go to the park, go for walks in the park and stuff. So
that's what I do. I go out my door and I go north into the Conservancy Gardens, which are beautiful. And nature doesn't know what's going. So the birds are singing and the little animals and the beautiful trees and everything. It's really great. And people do keep in New York City, honey, we're used to distance.
Oh yeah.
We when you're well, we keep our distance. But
Somebody posted a very funny thing today on my Facebook. They posted a dog looking at the owner and the dog saying, "Do you want me to leave the TV on for you? Will I go out?" And the owner goes, "You little bastard."
Yeah, I asked the cat, "You want the radio on? I know you want music."
Exactly.
There's a dirty one where the dog is like cursing, like going, "When are they gonna get out of my house? When are these people?" It's it's funny. You gotta laugh. Now, am I giving you a headache? Am I? I'm keeping this very still.
No, I'm amazed. Me, it would be all over the place.
Well, Beth, we're gonna upgrade your tech. All right, I'm gonna show you a couple of things you can do.
Okay.
I'm gonna send her a little phone stand. Right.
You know what? Son of a gun, I ordered one. And you know what? Amazon won't give you a date of delivery. You keep pushing a button and they go, and you go the next week. It's horrible. It's what it is.
So
Yeah, well, they stopped
all the-
curbside liquor store pickup here for the weekend, so I don't know what they're thinking.
Well, you know, I got mine delivered. Hey, do you know who will deliver it to you?
Cool.
Blue Apron. And
Get out of here.
Look at this. I got this beautiful little, look at a gift from one of my dear colorist pals. And they give you a book, love it, get more of it. And they give you a beautiful little selection of, okay, do you like dry? Do you like red? Do you like white? Do you like fruity? And it comes in a UPS box.
But do they do
Nice.
breakfast? Because we start drinking early around here these days.
Do you know what? I have to admit, yeah, I know. I know. Yeah, right. Well, it used to be, you know, like 4:30. And then it was like 1:25. Yeah, I keep it till like afternoon lunch, but you know what? I don't get up. So you know what I did? I get up at 5:45 to feed the cat because he's bothering me. Then I take a little Ambien and I get up at 11:30, 11:45. You know why? I don't want to be awake. Isn't that screwed up? But when I am, I've given a lot of people who do what you and I do for a living my phone number, right? So they call me and I'm happy to talk to them. But the questions are getting deeper and they're not just about, well, what do I do for ends are brassy? And this way past that. I'm scared to death. You know that.
Yeah. It's going to be interesting, though. That's when you go back, you know, when you are able to open, there's just going to be, I mean, it's going to basically be all corrective color, right? To a degree.
Yeah. And, but that's what I want to talk about tonight, because I really want to help people who are, you know, I respect people who are so terrified that they're doing things like dropping color off in people's mailboxes and stuff. No, because what it's doing is the service of a person sitting in your, I don't want a woman to come to say in 2 months, I love that kit you got me. Why don't you just sell me another kit? I don't need to spend the money to see you. And people, you know, it's just like you've experienced and I have. I've seen people recommend like Kerastase to a person doing their hair. The lady says they put in front of the woman, they show her what to do. The woman says, just a second, takes out her cell phone, takes a picture of it in front of the hairdresser and says, don't worry, I can order it direct. And the woman does not even understand that she's insulting and also limiting that professional.
Beth,
Yeah.
you know, we'll get into this during the conversation. How do you combat the companies going after us, though, with that? They're killing us. I mean, with Madison Reed, L'Oreal, who else just did it? One of the
You
other
know
ones
what?
just.
They haven't met me yet. No, they have.
Yeah, no, and I know that, Beth. You know, I had a one of the owners got a bunch of shit out of the New York State board for doing it, and meanwhile, Madison Reed was plucking her customers away like crazy. So,
well,
like,
she'll pluck, but you know,
we
but
need
she'll
to-
pluck them away. Yeah, it's terrible. But
we need
she'll
as hairdressers though to go in, and we need to talk to create, whether it's through Intercoiffure, PBA, or ourselves, and say enough is enough. You have to treat everybody with a layer, you know, a playing field that we're all equal on. Not the big companies get to do what they want to do.
the big companies, sadly, well, I'll talk about that. And I really agree, Derek. They will, they don't, forgive me, I've been with those companies. I've been honored to work for big companies, but I also got to see the other side. Their board of directors and the people who are making ginormous money do not care about, we are the testers, we are the low class, you know, workers.
Hey, Andrew.
There's Andrew, my
Hey,
friend.
Beth.
Hey, Andrew.
I want to tell you a funny story.
Good.
Okay.
Tell me.
Yeah, so I'm on the phone just before I'm on the phone with Constance Hartnett. Constance
Oh
Hartnett.
my God, I adore. How is she? The queen.
She's great. She's just James and Derek. Constance was one of the great colorists. Yeah, here in New York City. Unbelievable woman. I mean, she would do magic. And many, many, many clients per day. I mean, like 30 people a day, every day. And so I'm on the phone with Connie. And who calls? Beth Minardi. Yeah. What an honor. Two great colorists.
Do you know, here's something even better. 1,000 years ago, Andrew, when you and I were very young, you and I were detailing in Manhattan, and you said to me, you took me to Henry Bendel,
Right.
which was Glenby.
Yeah.
And you introduced me to a woman named Constance Harnett, who had been on the Clairol Presidential Hair Color Council when I was at Clairol.
Right.
And she said, you know, I'm going to, and she and I had the best conversation 4 or 5 years ago, because I always wanted everybody to interview her, because she said, I was told you may no longer use foil, you must paint people, but balayage, you are going to be in France for 1 month to learn to do this. Nobody, she and Nancy Braun,
Right.
the best, and
Right.
who taught Nancy Braun, Constance.
Right.
Oh my goodness, I'm so happy she's well.
When I speak to her next, I'll send you regards. She's
Please,
great. Yeah.
Always. So it's going to be fun tonight. It's going to be rock and roll, guys. It's going to be more than, okay, mix an ounce of this and an ounce of that.
When we go back, it's going to be mixed 12 ounces.
I was going to say 2, 3.
Oh, wait, just when I get
in
started. Now
5
listen,
minutes.
when I get started on this, I promise you guys, I will not do the F-bomb, but I'm going to tell it like it is, folks.
Okay.
But in one thing, who do I care about? Hair colorists and hairdressers and salon owners. I'm really, did you know, I'm sure you know this, Derek and Andrew, I'm sure. It seems that in the flyover states that I will not get into, Sally Beauty Supply is doing ads that say, during this time, you don't need to go to a salon. Sally will help you color your hair at home. And I don't know if they've reached out to you, but hair colorists are reaching out to me, madder than a hornet's nest, and they should be.
Sally, Wella, L'Oreal, Madison Reed, of course. I mean, Madison Reed's probably making more money than anybody right now.
But you know what? The dumbest thing that woman ever did was open beauty salons. What kind of a hairdresser is going to work to do a $40 retouch and then don't even get me started. And I know where the color comes from and I know what it is, but people think.
Beth, look, her whole ad campaign on cancer free and all that. I'm sorry, she has coal tar in her product. It's the #1 ingredient for cancer.
Guess what? That stuff went from the health food store, Herbitint. The first ingredient is PPD. The first ingredient, you know, and I'm going to get into this, what's natural, and I have it, honey. Listen, and I'm going to try, Derek. I'm not going to let this phone shake.
I'm going to get you wound up, Beth.
Yeah. Oh, I've been wound up all day. I have been wound up. And you know what? I have a glass of wine over there, but I'm not going to drink it till after, well, maybe in the middle. But I think people might ask questions. And I have all these people about what is I have these people asking questions, but I'm scared if I push the button, I'll goof you up. I'm very bad at this. I'm just going to talk to you and Andrew. And
so Beth, I'll tell you right now, before we even start, we're going to start in a couple minutes here. But Tracy Robinson, what is the cancer-causing agent in the product? There's 2. What is it? PP, whatever it is.
No,
and
the ingredient was 2,4-diamino-anisole, which in 1978 was removed from everything we were allowed to manufacture in America. 2,4-diamino-anisole. Now, at Clairol, the testing really hurt my feelings because it was done on animals. I thought they'd get a rat and style his hair and put a little retouch on the rat's head, but they didn't. They would force feed, okay? So it was the equivalent of a woman imbibing like 20 bottles. But so what? But still, the scalp, the skin is an organ of exchange. That was, okay, you'll remember this, Derek. Remember a long time ago when Wella Color Charm, Wella, was their red, they had a 633.
Oh my God, the red filler, the big bottle of red filler, right?
You got it.
It looked like blood in a bottle.
It did. Remember that? Okay. So listen to this. Okay. That was direct red dye, which was also in bottles of color that Clairol made called Red Fashion Colors. And they had pink silver, sun silver, fire silver, cherry silver, but it was all the direct dye. So when you put on the Vela, darling, even their Wella Color Charm 633, there was permanent dye in the bottle, but also direct dye. So even if the hairdresser left it on 15 minutes and rinsed it, there was a red stain on that scalp. So people thought, wow, look at this red color.
Beth, it
Honey,
was a hell of a filler, though.
yeah, it was, but CANCER, what do that?
Yeah, exactly.
But yeah. And then Redken came out with, remember, Fillerall?
I do.
But they weren't as bright. Those were made by the Lappin brothers in Beverly Hills. See, I know too much stuff that's so fascinating. You know what would be fun? This is really, I would love to have a room of people, like-minded people, and it's a cocktail party. And we
got
get
that here tonight.
This is
Huh?
what do you think we're doing?
This is it. Here we are.
Yeah,
It's
But you know
Saturday
what?
night.
but if anybody's offended, they can hang up, and I will not say fuck even once when we're online. How many more minutes do we have?
Yeah, we're on. It's okay.
Oh, it is? Okay, so is it 8 o'clock? It's almost 8 o'clock.
It is 8:03. We start at 8:05, so that's
Oh.
fine. We got 2 minutes to chit chat, and then I'll introduce you.
Okay, and I promise I will try not to make the camera jiggle.
Hey, Jackie Jones. Hey, Tara. Angela. Haha. Better half of James.
Hi, Gwen. There's a late somebody. Hey, Gwen. Hi, everybody. I'm excited, guys. I hope people are
Yeah, this
happy
is fun.
tonight. We're going to have fun.
This is
We can tell your camera's like the Blair Witch Project.
Is it really?
I'm only,
I'm trying to be so damn good. Listen.
Let's see,
Hi,
what is this?
Estella.
Oh,
Hello.
the Zoom code. A couple people are asking the Zoom password code. It's BBR, all capitals, Beauty Business Reset. Zoom made us put passwords in as of this afternoon, thanks to the college kids hacking their professors.
Good.
True.
Okay.
Okay, so we're going to kick it off, everybody. Everybody ready? Beth, you ready?
Ready.
Okay. Welcome, everybody, to tonight's class from the Beauty Business Reset. Very excited to have my dear friend, Beth Minardi, on tonight. I think you'll really enjoy what Beth has to talk about tonight. And I'm really excited to have you on, Beth. And we go back a way, especially
We
you
do.
and Andrew.
Yeah.
So
we do.
let's kick this off, and it's all yours, Beth.
Well, first of all, Derek, thank you so much for inviting me. Andrew, you and I have been buddies for so many years. I remember you and I think we're in our 20s when we first met in the Glenby warehouse down on near Irving Place, but we've been in salons together and back rooms together all over the place, and I'm so happy to be involved. Thank you all. And I want to say hi to everybody joining in. As you know, my thing is hair color, and I love it, and I love doing it, and I love teaching it, and I love creating it, and I love talking about it. So I am just like you. I'm one of you. I do have a hair color company. I do love to teach. I stand behind the chair here in Manhattan 4 days a week, every single day, starting when I left Clairol in 1986 and continued to consult for them, and then later for Redken and other companies. But anyway, my passion is the clients who I've been seeing for years and the incredible colorists who have worked with me and who I've trained and who I'm so proud of, because some of them are still with me and others have gone on to their incredible careers, and I love you all. So thank you. And I do want to tell you that, like, I am in New York City right now, and if you can see behind me, I'm right over Central Park, and I don't know how much longer I'll be able to afford to live here, but I have to say this. It is such a beautiful, beautiful park, and the sky was so beautiful today. The flowers are blooming. The trees in the Conservancy Park don't know about this. They're doing their thing. And I try not to look to my left, which is south, to see white tents and a very sad situation. Yesterday, I had to pass there, and I started to cry, and so did the cab driver. So it's not easy, but guess what? We are going to survive. And this business, this incredible salon business, is going to survive. However, we're going to evolve. We've been kind of evolving, and Derek and Andrew know this, and so does Oscar and so many of you others. We've been looking at this business the last 10 years, the last 7 years. If I taught a group of 500 people, let's say 8 years ago, and I'd say, raise your hand if you are an independent contractor, maybe out of 500 people, 40 would raise their hands. Now, today, if I have that same room of people, and I asked the same question, almost every hand would go up. Now, whether that's a good thing or a bad thing, what I feel is this. This was caused by evolution, and in some cases, not all, by some very bad salon owners who are very greedy. Not everyone, not the majority. There are a lot of wonderful salon owners. But when people don't understand sometimes, if you have a lovely salon, what it takes money-wise to take the key, open the door in the morning and turn the lights on. And they think, wow, if we've had a really busy day, the owner's making all this money. The owner's bringing money in the door, but what goes out to keep the place running and clean and beautiful and uplifting is huge. But aside from that, right now, if you are an independent contractor, I'm hearing things that scare me, guys. People taking somebody every 30 minutes with no assistant, people squeezing people in, and having clients come in and saying, the person in the other suite is $10 less than you are. Will you match the price? So that concerns me, and I know I can help you combat some of that a little bit. And I want to take you back to, I do know this, and I read a lot of things having to do with our business and business in general. What I read is that 90% of the people, not the leaders, but 90% of the people in the beauty business, in the grooming, in the nails, in the massage, in the skincare, and in the hair, 90% are women. 10% are men. Now, I was invited by the amazing, right before this horrible thing started, Elaine Travis, who has a lovely hair color group and has been in my classes for years, invited me to speak at her beautiful group. We had 42 people in the room. There were 2 guys in the room. One, Max, who's on my team, who took me to the event, and Elaine's lovely son, who was the videographer. That's it. And I have to say, you know, I want you to think back for just a second, because I'll tell you how it is in the world. For those of you who are probably in your 20s and 30s and are probably not watching this because I don't have any tats, maybe you guys should tell me, should I get maybe I should get a ring in my nose or something, or tats, I don't know. I want to be relevant, and I really think I am, but I also am who I am, and I believe that we have to respect ourselves. Go back.
Beth,
Huh?
you are relevant. Should I brag about all the stars you've done hair for?
You can later. Yeah, I've
Okay.
done, and I still do, and I love them. And well, we'll get into that later.
Who's your favorite, Beth? Who's not your favorite star, but your favorite color that you do on a star?
Well, I love doing Uma Thurman. I loved doing Renee Russo.
Mic
I loved
drop.
doing Julianne Moore. You know, it's so funny. The other night I was watching The West Wing, and I said, "Oh, Allison Janney, done her." Oh God. And who played the first lady? She's so amazing. Come on, I've done so many of these people, and I go, and it's awful, because if I'm on a date with a guy and I'm still looking for a boyfriend, everybody, I do have some requirements, but I don't even mean to say it. We're looking at, I said, I've done her, I've done him. And I mean, you know, I love what I do. I'm so lucky, you know? And yeah. And I will say Brad Pitt was one of my favorites of all time. Of all time. Okay. At any rate, I want you to think back, and at night, because we're all watching Netflix and everything, for those of you tuning in who might not have seen this movie, I want you to go to the movie Baby Boom, starring Diane Keaton. Now, that movie was made And when at the beginning credits, when she's walking into work, she was walking in front of my office at Clairol at 345 Park Avenue, and next door into the Seagram's building where they had it that was her office. Now, interesting, they talked about women in the workforce. Well, women were supposed to wear like a men's suit that had a skirt instead of pants, remember? Oh God, that was weird. And then if you were a secretary, you could walk to work and wear sneakers and socks. And then when you got to work, put on your high heels. But I did that one day and my boss called me in and said, don't ever do that again. That's only for secretaries. I said, but I've just walked 15 blocks. He said, I don't care, walk in heels. Well, things have changed since that time. But if you really go through and listen to that movie, things have not changed enough. Women still earn only 87 cents to $1 a man earns. And I don't want to get into that for a long time. But what I do want to say is a lot of that is a woman's fault. You can't talk about not feeling well, having to take care of your baby, having to get home to cook, and making it as though that beautiful behind the chair experience that you have doesn't count first, because the women and gentlemen who sit in your chair need that moment, that experience. About 10 years ago, Andrew and I were crossing Park Avenue and we both said the word at the same time, experience. We are in the experience business. Now, all of the people who are coloring their hair at home during this pandemic, and all of those who tried to color their hair at home during this pandemic, and companies who we have supported as hair professionals are telling people to color their hair at home. They don't care. You have to care about yourself, your business, and your customers first. Yes, I have a beautiful daughter who's now 31. I worked and I made sure that the person who cared for her while I was at work was a caregiver. And I didn't have my daughter till I was over 30 because I couldn't afford it. Now, there are a lot. When I was starting out in business, there was no such thing as a person who would say she's a single mom. Nobody. And if she was, it was not spoken about. There are so many women out there who are the breadwinners, the moms, the dads, the housekeeper, the cook, and they're trying to do clients. And then the clients don't always respect them as they should. And I'm not saying you should be haughty. I'm not saying you have to bend over backwards to love these people. But that time, backwards, flip over, and never mind, I won't say the other thing. But do you realize when they come in, they need to believe that at that moment, you are the only thing in their lives. They need to, yes, I know we're coloring their hair and we're damn good at it, because we know that what just grew out of the head is not the same fiber that's 2 inches, 5 inches, 10 inches away. They just don't get it. They don't need to get it, and they shouldn't get it, because you know what? I can't deliver my own baby. I can't give myself a great pedicure, and I can't iron. I hate, but anyway, there are a lot of things I cannot do, and the things I can do are make you feel like a king or a queen when you're in my chair. And yes, it is Andrew Finkelstein, the experience business. They need, how was your husband's birthday party? Did your dog have puppies? Who's the father of the puppies? Do we know? How's your child? How's your child's school? How are the new trees in your yard? How's your mother-in-law? How much do you hate your mother-in-law? How do you love everybody? I mean, it's so much about how your wonderful cousin is one of the best people in the world. How's your kid doing at school? Okay, those moments, do you realize you might be the only person who asks that person that the whole day? Do you realize that little time of knowing that they don't drink coffee, they prefer tea, knowing that they want lemon in their water or no ice in their water, knowing that the consultation isn't just this stupid thing hair color companies try to do. What is your natural level? What is the percentage of gray? No, that's important. But no. I call it the pre-service conversation, which has to start the minute they come through that door. And if you don't have a good desk, I can't use that F-bomb and I won't. That desk is your guard. And if you don't have a desk, you have to be the guard. And if a dum-dum is at your desk, you have to go to that door and tell them how thrilled you are to see them. if it's cold where you live, where they can hang their coat, or you help them take your coat. I have an amazing co-colorist with me, Kathleen Smith. I have always had co-colorists with me. I train them, and 3 years later, they leave me to be a senior colorist, either with me or not. And I still love every single one of them. And if I had to do it all over again, I would do it the same exact way. I breed hair colorists. I breed them. Leland Hershen used to make a sick joke with me and say, you want to breed hair colorists? And I said, not with you, Buster. But anyway, but, you know, that's a dirty joke. But it's just kidding around. We were just kidding. He was kidding. Okay, but here's the thing. That pre-service interview has to do with the minute they sit down to a chair that is unlocked and clean, with a station that is clean and ready for them. I do not believe in styrofoam cups. I do not believe in instant coffee. I believe in a china cup with a saucer or a mug. I believe in a glass that's a glass. I just think they need to believe they're at your home, that your salon chair is kind of like your little home where you're inviting them. I say this to people: be the kind of hair colorist or hairdresser or salon owner that if they gave a party, that client would invite you to their party. Or even better, that if you gave a party, they would want to be invited. Because every day in that damn salon, it's your party. And as my one client sang the song, if it's my party and I'll cry if I want to, you would, my client, she passed away. She also sang, my boyfriend's back and there's going to be trouble. Hey, La, my boyfriend's back. God bless her. Okay, so moving right along. It's the experience business, and what these home user people like Madison Reed, okay, I can say this. They hired my friend David Stanko from Redken. He was amazing. David and I are both from Pittsburgh, as were the Zigarellis, and as Charlotte Riddell, and as Brad Johns, and a lot of other good hairdressers came from Pittsburgh. Born and raised in Pittsburgh, then I grew up in Florida. But David went to work for a time at Madison Reed, and he helped them. And if I were, those of us, you can say you get mad at people. Well, what do you do when you're at a certain time in life and big companies dump you because they want to take somebody who is more, let's call it, relevant, and you need a job? Sweetheart, I'm still doing this. I still teach all the time, and I love it. And I love all the people who come to my classes. But if I go to a big beauty show, like ABS, which I was going to teach at this year, and they had to sadly cancel, and I'm so thrilled Frank Folkel's involved there now with Janet Gordon. And you walk through, I used to demand, I need a room, I need a stage that is lit so people can see, I need a microphone, I need the stage up a certain many inches from the floor so the people in the back can see. I use beautiful professional models. I don't use wigs. I don't stick wigs on people and strut them out and lie that I colored their hair. And I need 90 minutes minimum, because I can't teach you much in 90 minutes. But in 20 minutes for you to keep turning chairs and I step right over and buy this, step right over and buy that, that cheapens what we do for a living. But if I'm the king of L'Oreal or Wella or Procter & Gamble or not even Henkel Cody now, do I really care about hairdressers? No, and I know when they're all going to all say, Beth should be. If I'm found dead in the street, it's because I was murdered. I need a job. I need to keep working, but I will not screw people who are so dedicated to what they do. Now, you better be dedicated, because there are a lot of people who are working now who are not as dedicated as some people I met. I'm going to tell you something that's upsetting Derek and Andrew and Oscar and everybody who's listening. In many cases, I look and I listen to the audience I am teaching today, and they're not as smart as the people I taught 15 years ago. Now, I don't mean they're not intelligent. I mean, here's what I've answered this week on the phone with hairdressers. If I give my client the color and I don't give her the peroxide, the color will last longer, right? I gave my client this color because she told me she couldn't come in for her roots. And she put it on and her roots looked a little orange. So should I just tell her to buy another box at the drugstore and put it back on and lighten it, just put it back on? You think I'm kidding? Another person. In my class for 400 people, I taught them to use a particular demi-permanent cream color before I created my Beth Minardi demi-cream color. And I was explaining how to low light hair with this product and why it is superior to use a demi-cream when you're low lighting instead of a permanent dye. And I'm thinking about alkalinity, etc. And about a year later, this person was in my class and the person raised their hand and said, do you mean that there's a developer we have to mix with that color? And I said, yes. And they said, oh, I thought it was kind of thick. I said, well, when your distributor salesperson came in to get that order, did they not tell you to buy the developer? When I was in beauty school, we didn't learn much about color. And when I joined Clairol, I had to come to New York to learn color. But you know who taught me to color hair? Do you know who taught me to color hair? Me. I did people for free at my house at night after I worked for Clairol all day, teaching myself to look at the regrowth, look at the ends. And I realized that by following manufacturers' instructions, I was screwing up the hair. Those same instructions are on the boxes of hair color in the drugstore. Now, somebody wrote to me the other night on I have a conversation page, it's Facebook, it's free, it's a membership thing. And it's my conversation page. And this lovely woman wrote, she said, look at this guy. And believe it or not, I think his name is Michael Douglas, like the actor, but I don't know who that is. She said he used to be a hairdresser and he works for a company. And he was saying how box dye is so inferior. And he's trying to back up. I have to tell you something. You know what's the difference between the box dye in the store and what's in your dispensary? You. Now, in the drugstore, it might say delicious lilac blonde. In your dispensary, it says 8V. In the drugstore, it might say sunlit brunette. In your dispensary, it might say 4G. The fragrance is different. The amount of product is different. The applicator is shitty. The difference is you. You could give me the best scalpel in the world, the best operating room, the best everything, the best gown, the best nurses. You still wouldn't want me to give you a facelift because I don't know what the hell I'm doing, even with good stuff. Madison Reed stuff it's okay-ish, but it doesn't have you. And the nerve that they charge you you want to develop a bottle, an applicator bottle, that's more. You want a brush, that's more. You want a plastic cap, that's more. You want gloves, that's more. You know, and then Redken did listen, I'm going to tell you guys a story. You might not like it. You want to hear it, though? It's pretty good. Tell me if you want to hear it. Okay, Derek, here we go. Is everybody having better?
Everybody wants to hear Beth's secret insight to the industry, because if there's anybody that knows it, it's Beth.
Are people getting mad at me, Derek? Huh?
Not at all, Beth. Go for it. Everybody wants to hear it.
You're going to love this. Okay. I'm in my salon that I co-owned with my former husband a long time ago. I had an amazing clientele. I still do. It's a little harder by myself, but I still do. Okay. I had left Clairol and I was just finishing working with Redken, helping them make Color Fusion. And I had a very wonderful tenure with both of those companies. And one of my dear clients was the publisher of a big, giant magazine that sold everything in drugstores. And I used to blend his gray. And he said, you know, the new president at this certain company would like to talk to you. And I said, I have some ideas for them. And here's what I thought. And I said this to Jim Morrison at Redken. I said this to people like Clara. I said this to Michel Tanguy. I said it to Guy. I said this to so many people. And I said this to Bill Decker. I said this to Andrew. I said this to so many people. I said, I have an idea. Here's my idea. Now listen to this. Don't be mad at me. You know the person who should sell retail hair color? Hair colorist. Here's what you're going to do. The kit is 1/2 ounce of color and 1/2 ounce of developer in the salon. When she's going home, you sell this only enough to do the part and the widow's peak. Honey, she's coming back because she doesn't have enough to do the rest of the head. And I said, it's to tide you over between times. And somebody is marketing something called tween time. And Clairol is marketing something called Nice and Easy Root Retouch Kit. That sells cajillions. So I said to this company, you don't need any R&D. That means research and development, everybody. It means you already, I said, what you need to do is, I'm going to teach you how to intermix the colors so you can target so the hairdresser can sell this, right? Well, then they wanted to give me some money and sign a paper that I couldn't work for anybody else for 10 years. So I said, goodbye. So now later, the guy who was the then president, who then was at a big department store as the president, which is, no, he said to me, why did you turn that down? I said, because you didn't read that contract, did you? So, because I'm the stupid hairdresser. When I left Clairol, and I think maybe I made a big mistake. Maybe I should have stayed at Clairol, stayed there, let all the crap and the politics go on between Miss Clairol and Logix, gotten fired and gotten a golden parachute so that now I wouldn't have to worry about my rent. Well, I decided to go and open a beauty salon with my husband. And I decided to teach and to continue elevating hair color to an art form. Maybe I made a stupid decision, personally. I don't know. But I never sold myself out.
Beth,
and I have to say, you guys don't wait.
Beth,
One thing.
Beth,
wait.
no, hold on. You didn't make a stupid decision, girl. You are a rock star. You have your own color line now. All these idiots are screwing the hairdressers, and eventually the hairdressers will wake up and revolt against these companies.
Right now, I want you to think of Versailles, and I want you to think of Louis and Marie Antoinette looking out the windows saying, holy shit, the mobs are coming. We are the mob. Hi, Rodney. We are the mob. Don't let these people, let me tell you something. Let these women screw. You know what I tell them? I will not give them a formula to use. You know what I say? You're home now. Okay, if you have to, I will not give them a formula. I will not drive to their home and put it in a mailbox. I will not take a cab to their lobby. I say, use a Nice and Easy kit on your part line, and I will see you in 4, 6, or 8 weeks. Guess what? They can. Do you think I'm thinking they can do what I do? Because I trust in my head, my hands, and my heart the way all of you should. And you've got to respect yourself. Do not allow people to treat you like shit. Do not do hair color for $20 a retouch. Do not eat bad food. Do not take drugs. Do not drink all day. Do not exercise. Do not care how you look. Do not let a woman or man mistreat you. Do not think of yourself as garbage. Read a book. Look at a movie that's not Rambo or some stupid tiger woman. Know who the president of the United States is. Know that we can change this. Know that there's a place called France. I had a young woman work for me who did not know how many states there were in America. And she had a fight with a British client because the British client said, no, there are 50 states in America. I took her aside gently with her, twisted her. I think she still has the black and blue marks. I said, when you are not sure of something, do not ever argue with this customer. Every customer is gold, but you are gold. Your hands, your head, your heart, your soul, and your education. It sickens me that some of you went to a beauty school and you just graduated and you never did a human being, only a mannequin. When I teach, I refuse to use mannequins. Join me on my conversations page, Beth Minardi, Conversations with Top Colorists. Please follow Derek and Andrew and Oscar and Vivian McKender and Mary Brunetti and Antoinette Bender and Ruth Roche and Chris Sorby and all the dudes out there. It sickens me that 70% of hairdressers under the age of 30 do not know that Vidal Sassoon was a person. Vidal Sassoon changed this industry. When I die on my tombstone, I wanted to say elevated hair color to an art form, but my ashes will be scattered in Central Park. Love you guys. Thanks for including me. And I didn't jiggle the phone too much, did I, Derek?
Beth, you were awesome as always. Guys, you have questions for Beth while we have Beth's time? Post them up right here, and James and I will. James, you filter the Facebook. I'll filter the Zoom questions. Let's keep them coming for Beth. Beth, tell me how you got your name, the color chemist.
The color chemist, because you know what? I was so lucky. From the time I was 25, I got to be told to shut up, stand in a corner, and listen to these chemists. And brilliant chemists. Chemists are not fashion people. Chemists are chemists. They know about lift, deposit, alkalinity, activation of the molecule, time lapse, heat versus temperature, versus freezing a product versus boiling a product. And I learned from 3 major manufacturers, both here and in Europe. And I treasure every moment of that. I was a student and I was told, listen.
Beth, next question I have for you, because I love your passion on serving the client. Okay. And my coaching clients, I preach this: the sale starts when they walk through the door and ends when they walk out the door. It doesn't end when you do the service and you hand them a ticket and say, go to the front desk. Please tell me your walkthrough of how you handle a client from when they come in the door.
Well, because I am a hair colorist, I don't blow their hair dry. But we do take them over to where the hair is being styled. They go to the styling chair with the hair detangled. Towel dried does not mean dripping on the floor. Towel dried, yeah, really detangled.
You mean the blowout shouldn't take an hour because you didn't towel dry the hair?
You wouldn't believe why they'll say, well, I used that demi color to tone the blonde. It didn't work. And I'm seeing that the hair's dripping down the woman's face. They don't, but towel dried means towel dried, okay? And not rub, squeeze, lovely. Okay, when they're in the chair, I start and I tell the hairstylist, we always start a little bit of the blowout in the front so the lady calms down. Remember, this is what she's looking at, you know? Get that. I check back in 10 minutes and I configure, I better look in 15, and I keep going back. And then as she's being finished, I approach the chair and I do not say, wow, you look great. I say, what do you think? Because when you do that.
Yeah, no,
Okay.
Beth, I love it. What I loved about what you said earlier was how you make every client, I'm trying to think of the words. From my expression, it would be as if they were the last client on earth.
Yes. And you know what? When they're leaving, sometimes they want to hug me and kiss me. And I do it, you know, and I just say, I can't wait to see you next time. And they go, no, I already made mine. Remember this. Make sure they schedule the next appointment before they leave by saying, okay, I'll see you in 3 to 4, right? Or I'll see you. And because if you don't say anything, and they say most people leave without an appointment, and those people come 5 or 6 times a year. The people who make the appointment come 12 or 13 times a year. But still, they have to feel like you cared, and you got to say, be sure to tell me how many of the puppies got adopted the next time I see you.
Beth, I have a technical question. Somebody asked about keratin straightenings and what it does to the integrity of the hair with color.
Well, it is not the keratin that is straightening the hair. And if you are using a formaldehyde-free keratin relaxer, I want you to look and see if there's any propylene glycol or vanillin there. And I want you to check if you've been asked to use an iron that's more than 400 degrees. The thing that's smoothing the hair is because you are melting the cuticle and cortex together. You are breaking down disulfonic bonds. Those bonds can never be reformed, even if you neutralize, right? So if I'm working on a zone 1, the root that's salt and pepper gray or whatever her natural color is, and the ends, which have been keratin treatment or keratin relaxed, I'm working on 2 different fibers at the same time, or 3. Years ago when I was at Redken, I invented zone 1, zone 2, and zone 3. I want you guys to go get 3 rolls of toilet paper. Do you have them? Did you buy a lot of toilet paper? Get a full roll, a half of a roll, and one that's almost empty. Look at it sideways. The hair that just grew out of the head is the full roll of toilet paper, has a lot of cuticles on it. Think of the toilet paper as the cuticle. Several inches away, think of the toilet paper that's half of the roll. Uh-oh, fewer pieces of paper on there, fewer cuticle layers. The almost empty toilet paper roll is below the shoulders. There's like 3 or 4 cuticle layers hanging on for dear life. And then we have the zone 4 hair, which is a Kleenex, which ain't gonna do you much good. And let me say this to you. If hair has been thermally reconditioned, let's say relaxed, the keratin didn't do anything. The keratin smoothed the hair. It did not straighten the hair. Now I see people doing balayage with bleach, roots to ends on that, and I almost have to go and throw up because they're beating the living shit out of that. Sorry, I care. Just say, let's be careful and be sure to condition and use a wide tooth comb. I hope that's clear. I hate to, listen, I don't have a lot of time. Andrew's laughing. If I had 5 or 6 hours, I wouldn't have to talk this way. But if I only have this amount of time, I'm trying to help people. This is bullshit. People lie. People think that you can keep bleaching hair roots to ends every 4 weeks and it's going to be wonderful if they put a bonder in it. Does the bonder help? Sure. Is it going to make, once the steak is well done, I cannot make it medium rare. You can put on Worcestershire sauce, butter, A1 sauce, barbecue sauce. You burned the steak. Sorry.
Beth, I have a technical question for you because I see this all the friggin' time and it drives me absolutely ballistic. Somebody is bringing somebody up in lightening them and they don't bring it up enough and then they try and tone it. Learn how to use your friggin' bleaches.
Right, here's what they do. First of all, if they use a blue bleach, Derek, you know they think it's lighter than and cooler than it is. And now people are talking about lifting in levels. We do not lift in levels. We lift in stages. I just did, oh, wait, let me get this. I have to show you what I did the other night. Wait, let me show you this. Wait, I'm walking over. Don't look at my messy house. Look what I did. I did swatches. Can you guys see this? The swatches I did?
Yes.
Yes.
This is bleach, only 5 volume. An hour.
Beth, center it a little more.
Oh, okay. How's that? Okay, here's what I'm showing.
Put it on the table and show your phone to the table.
Okay, I did.
Go back a little bit. Right there.
Okay.
Perfect.
This is virgin hair that I get from, that has not been treated with formaldehyde. This was treated with ultraviolet light. Look what bleach did with powder lightener in 25 minutes. Almost nothing. It brought it up to a level 5, like a red-orange stage, right, Derek?
Yeah.
Here I am with 5 volume at 45 minutes. It's still gold. Here I am with 5 volume. I should have used 20, but I wanted to show them at 1 hour. When you bring hair up only to gold and you stupid somebody told you, oh, put the toner on and you can make her platinum. No, you can't. Can you guys see me? A pale yellow bleach out is the color of a banana, not the skin, the fruit. It's a beigey, yellowish white. A yellow bleach out.
Beth, tell them how you get 1 shot at this, right? Because if you go in and you screw it up, you're doing a corrective color versus doing it right the first time.
Correct. And when a woman says, I got to go pick up my kids at the school, it's better to tell her to take her bleach on the hair, go get the kids and come back. I'm just kidding. Here's what it is. Number one, people you know what they do, Derek? They don't take 1/8 of an inch sections. They put it on with a bowling brush rather than an applicator. when you put it on with a bowl and brush, and I do use a bowl and brush sometimes, but you push it away from the scalp. You can't help it. There was a lady named Mrs. Lee, who Andrew knew, who had a salon on Park Avenue, who used to do her bleach retouches with a stick. And that bleach was pushed right onto the scalp. Bleach works for up to 2 hours. The first hour, you get the most lift. Now, you're right, Derek. People rinse them off after 20, 25 minutes, and then they think the platinum toner is going to lighten them. People used to say, oh, just tell them they'll get it with the toner. No, they won't. That hair has to be pre-lightened to pale yellow. Then it has to be shampooed thoroughly. And please, I do mean shampoo doesn't mean that when she comes back to the chair, there's still bleach behind her ears. Rinse forever, shampoo, quickly condition the hair ends, dry that hair 50% dry with a blower and put the toner on the scalp only. But all bets are off unless you pre-lighten to pale yellow, right?
Correct. So we have another question coming in. What about Olaplex and bonders, Beth?
As I said, these are very helpful tools. They do help. They're like wearing a ski mask when you go down the mountain. The ski mask helps. It does not protect you from everything. And there are some people who are trying to use it. Hey, remember this, Derek? Remember 1,000 years ago, there was something called Germax. What was it called? Something. They give them a treatment and you knock on their head and it felt like plastic. It was, they give them an apogee treatment. Apogee. It was plastic. So they'd perm the living crap out of the hair. Then they'd tell the client, we're going to give you an apogee treatment. Put them under the dryer and the hair was like a rock. Then you'd rinse it, and good, the lady would leave without her hair falling off. Okay, as I said, you just when you use Olaplex or any bonder, they are helping you. They are not, the broiler is still on in that oven, honey. If you don't break the disulfonic bonds, the hair will not lighten. The pheomelanin, which is the red-orange pigment, which cannot be taken out of the hair with a high-lift single process, is broken down by ammonium persulfate or by an ammonium persulfate substitute in the bleach. That's what kills pheomelanin. The bonder is helping you break down the fewer bonds, and it is a tool. It is not abracadabra magic.
So we have some more questions, Beth. How do you feel about heat lamps?
I use it. I should be on their payroll. Maybe you tell them. I use it. It's a Cara Belmont roller ball. Because lamps don't move. A roller ball doesn't blow. I don't like to put a lady under a dryer that blows with foil in her hair because you're blowing it. But
so you like infrared heat, basically.
Well, this is infrared heat, but it just keeps moving. I don't like those machines those climazones that make that noise, that that noise, because they're okay. It's better than nothing. But I would never. Here's important, Derek. People are putting people under the dryer with bleach on their roots and permanent dye on their roots. You can kill somebody. Their head can swell up. Now,
people's hair have lit on fire.
Yes,
in foil over that.
Yes, in foil. There are people who. There was a woman who said to me, "My hair's hot," and I couldn't touch the foil. The foil was like 400 degrees. She lived in Bridgehampton. Her hair was loaded with, minerals. The foil was so hot, I had to put her head in the sink and with cold water. I couldn't touch it. But I'm talking about on the scalp, Derek. Here's what heat does with permanent dye. Heat accelerates lift, not deposit. And plus, the skin is an organ of exchange. You can cause severe allergic reactions by processing permanent dye in contact with the scalp under heat. Now, if you're going to do it and you're making money, no one to tell you. But if I saw it in my salon, it wouldn't happen.
So, Beth, the next one coming in is, what do you think about the board certified hair colors book? Person says, I'm learning right now. What do you think about a steamer also?
I like steamers for processing conditioners. We do know that when you keep the hair moist, the hair lightens evenly and the hair will stay in great shape. However, I do not process color or bleach under a steamer. If you are having good luck with this, good. I prefer a steamer for conditioning. I have the best respect for Andrei Nezatich, the founder of the American Board of Certified Hair Colorists. He and I differ in our ways of approaching color. It's like, but he's wonderful. Let's just say that I'm Catholic and he's Baptist, or I'm Jewish and he's Christian. We're all going to the same God, but we're going in a different way, right? I think, but I love him. And I think there are many wonderful people on the board. And this was political because he had his group that should have been purchased by Claire all years ago. Another group was purchased. I was in the middle of that, and then I was past it. And when Andre first started, he and I just believe in treating the hair shaft differently. He's not wrong, and I'm not wrong. We're both right, but we're different. And I think I applaud anybody who's taking his classes. I also hope people will take mine because they learn from me too.
Yeah, so Beth, tell us about all of your groups and anywhere people can get in contact with you.
That's great. Well, first of all, I have an Instagram and I do lives on it a couple times a week, and it's called Beth Minardi Hair Color Instagram. My real fun group is, I started this about 2 years ago, and it's so neat. I have people from Dubai and from England and from all over the world, as well as tons of people from America. And it's a Facebook group. It's free. It's called Conversations with Top Color Professionals by Beth Minardi. I post on it every day and people answer me. And so do my wonderful friends, Kat and Leah and Max and Charlotte. And Char, who was with me at Redken and was the director of education, is now with my brand. Anybody who wants to know about my color can go to bethminardi.net, or they can email me at bethminardi@gmail.com. I'm always here to help. If I'm allowed to travel, on May 18th, I'll be at Petra's Salon, but right outside Hilton Head, South Carolina, with the amazing Candace Aldrich. I'm planning classes in Florida, in Beverly Hills, and in Texas, and right outside Boston. And all people have to do is tell me they want to come. And I post on my Facebook how they can register. People would like me to come to their area for free. I can't because I don't have enough money to pay for my airline ticket. But I teach all the time for free on my Facebook and on Instagram. I'll be on Instagram tomorrow night at 8 o'clock. And every single day on Facebook. And hey, Derek, if you and the guys ever want to get something started about hair color, my dream, here's my next dream. I want to open a postgraduate studies in hair color academy. You can come for a day, a week, a month. We might do a group on just correctives, or only, here's one, Derek, we could do this for a week. Bleaching, pre-lightening hair the right way.
Let's do it.
Let's do it. I want an academy, and I will teach my guts out, and so will the incredible teacher. Here's what I want you to know. There's some masters out there. Learn from a master. As Vivian McKender says, learn from a master, but have fun with a cowboy. There are a lot of cowboys out there, and there are a lot of people just selling product. Do I want to sell product? You're damn right I do. But you know what I want to sell?
Hold on, Beth. Out of all that, you didn't mention your hair color line.
Because I'm trying not to. Beth
Minardi.
Okay. Beth Minardi signature, permanent cream color, demi cream, and liquid cream. And guess what I did? When I was asked to make this, I said, why bother unless the chemist can give me something different? Can we spin conditioner into hair color? We did. Phytocollagen on the inside, ceramide 2 on the outside, and we took away the ugly fragrance. The hair color smells like cottonwood blossom. Right now, I reduced the price to $3.99. It's usually $5.99, but people are in trouble. So no distributor, bethminardi.net, and Howard Hayfitz down at Art of Business, or Josh Hayfitz. That's it, baby. Direct to hairdressers. We are the mob outside the palace. Louis and Marie Antoinette maybe didn't get to have their head chopped off. That wasn't good. But somebody has to listen. Stand up for yourself. And I always say to people, dream big, always dream, and always dream in color.
Love you, Beth. That was awesome. What a
Love you.
presentation.
Love you more. I hope I didn't upset anybody, but I usually do. What the heck?
No, you know what? They'll get over it, right? They got a Marine hosting, so they'll get
Okay.
over it.
God bless you all, everybody. Keep going and
Beth,
stay.
you are the
Stay
best.
home. Listen, stay home. And this, I don't want to hear people who still working in salons thinking it's funny because they're open. It's not funny. Let's get past this so we can get back to work. Bye, Andrew. I love your hat.
Thank you, Beth.
Love. Bye, Oscar. Mwah. Have fun, guys. Call me later. Bye.
Good night, Beth.
Night, night.
Good night, everybody. Great meeting tonight. Andrew, you have anything to say before we sign off? James, anything?
There is no one out there who knows her stuff like Beth Minardi does. She's lived it,
You just gotta love Beth. She's one of a kind, no doubt about it.
labbed it, she's lived it. She's amazing.
James, you enjoy Beth's conversation?
Yeah, she was great. I had a lot of technical issues on my end, so you see my little wire here.
I know that. I knew that. It's okay. She
Everybody on the
rocked.
Facebook, obviously all the comments, love, lots of love for Beth.
Yeah. If any of you that are still on have any questions for Beth, just bump them onto Facebook here, and I'll get them over to Beth. And remember to check out her group and go from there. Great talking to everybody tonight. Everybody have a great night.
And we'll
Good night,
see you
everybody.
tomorrow night.
Good night, guys.
Yep, as usual. Same bat time, same channel.